Man, we made a real asses out of ourselves trying to escape from B, didn't we?
We did nothing. It was all May's fault. We had no input on that whatsoever.
Well, May apparently has no idea what she did either. It's like Jackie's like, "What did you do?" Just May's like, "I don't know. What did you do?" Oh, May.
You think she's honest to God, just clueless about her own behavior?
You mean like, do you think that she was trying to sabotage B getting together with those college kids?
Yeah.
Good question. I think she is kind of clueless. I think May honestly doesn't know what the fuck. I mean, she probably thought, "Oh, I'm gonna be like the edgy type," but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe the fact that she does hate college kids kind of lent some credence to that. Be like, "B, you deserve better," you know.
Hmm.
But anyway, we have a new task. Go towards the river, or else Jackie here is gonna punch our teeth out.
Well, obviously we're gonna find her.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're May. We're the witness.
Yeah. Well, also we're the protagonist. I mean, as the protagonist, all the exciting things happen to the protagonist, no matter what. I mean, May is the one that spoke with God.
I always told B that you were an asshole, and I really thought that was true.
Damn. I mean, May kind of is an asshole.
And I was good to know that was right. Yeah, is May a redeemable character? Does she have? Is she broken? I mean, she's definitely broken, but is she someone that we can say, yeah, she's kind of a bad person, she's not redeemable, or no?
I think we need to identify what the problem with her is first.
Well, she definitely has anger issues, and those anger issues really make her antisocial and violent and just a poor judge of behavior in general. Whether or not that makes her bad, I guess, is up for debate. I mean, we have to look at the results. You know?
I guess it comes down to what your definition of bad is. Like, is she evil?
No, she's not going out and actively hurting people. I mean, until she is. I mean, look at this. She's saying, "I'm going to jump on your I will lend you right
here."
Okay,
as you say that.
As I say that. Wow. Well, let's put it in context, I guess. May is trying to find her lost friend, and she's going to take absolutely any routes necessary to meet the ends she wants. The ends justify the means for May. And if it means punching a dude's face in, she's going to go that route with glee.
I mean, she's coming up to this guy and telling him to get away from his own car. "I'm going to run it over your damn head." This is not the dialogue of someone that is particularly redeemable. I mean, all she wants is to find B, but, you know, like, she is fucking willing to murder people and make threats.
I love her threats, though. I love her creativity. We're gonna throw down with random Birdman.
Last person I heard ended up in the hospital.
Physically, she has to add that.
She's doing an awful lot of posturing.
May's not that imposing looking, is she?
Well, no.
Maybe she's got crazy eyes, like her whole nightmare eyes thing. Maybe she is, like, you see her face, is like, whoa, this girl may be small, but she could probably be like a wild animal and tear her eyes out. See, this guy just fucking gave up. I don't have time for this.
Well, this is not making me like May as a character.
In a sense, like, she's like, you don't like her as a person, or you don't like her how she's written?
I don't like her as a person. She's written fine. I mean, she's accomplishing exactly what the writers set her out to do.
All that just for us to be able to get a alley-oop on this rooftop.
And now the music. This is making me curious as to how hanging out with Greg would have gone.
Instead of threatening people, we just stab each other a bit more.
Well, I mean, Greg's also has his own issues to work through, but I mean, we don't know how it would have gone. So, like, maybe A, it would have generally been a better time, like a happier time, and B would have gone to this party without May, and she would have had a much easier time dealing with it than, like, if May were there.
May was just there to keep him company, but then she just had to speak up and basically, like, number one, out B is not a student. Number two, kind of like make an ass out of herself because she came with B. And number three, kind of like interrupt all the time and just make an ass by association out of B. Even if the two college kids were like, yep, whatever, you know, but it's just the principle of the thing that May was like, you know, she doesn't like you kind of guys, you know?
B came awfully far just for a smoke.
She just needed to get away from it for a while.
You know, B is a smoker. I wonder how far she can run.
Probably better than Angus with asthma.
Why did you run? To get away from you. Extremely dangerous.
And you're alone in some college town. She's being very moralizing for someone who made her run out of there.
Hmm. These are my parties.
These are my parties. I come to these. Not you, May.
She's the one that spends the money on the gas.
That's sad. B is a profoundly depressing character. I mean, the whole game is depressing. I ask if this is normal because, come on, driving 2 hours a month to hang out with people you barely know because, you know, you want to feel like you're a college person?
This is coming from a guy that lives in a city that's literally at the end of the Canadian highway. But driving for 2 hours to go to, like, an event or something, that's not abnormal.
It's not the question is abnormal, it's the question of why you do it.
To hang out with other people, exactly what B is doing.
Yeah, but to pretend to be a college person?
Well, maybe not to, like, live another life, I suppose. B sitting there telling May that she had a good thing, and then she threw it away. May had everything that B wanted.
Pretty much. It's gonna get to that point because B's whole thing is, I should have gone to college. I dream obsessively about college. I think obsessively about college.
Although it does kind of beg the question, what would be B's plan after college? Because this game is Millennials the game, right? And Millennials, like, we're at that stage in our economy and our America's, like, political structure right now where fucking you go to college and you get yourself a master's degree in 2 different subjects and then you might get a job at McDonald's if you're lucky. So if, like, this is B's end goal, going to college, what comes after that?
I think B is a planner. The thing about college is that it prepares you to actually have choices. If you don't have a college degree, you know, you're basically stuck. And the only way out is entrepreneurship, which is basically what B has already kind of accomplished. But this isn't what she wants. She's a smart person. She probably could be like a researcher or something, you know? And B is stuck in the fact that because of her family issues, she could not afford even to go out and do her dream. I mean, now we're getting political again because, you know, healthcare. We lost the house, the bills are bad. Dad had a breakdown. I mean, it's all going to shit for poor B.
Yeah, I remember visiting my childhood house. We play video games to have fun and to escape from our lives.
That's not true necessarily. I mean, we play it to enjoy ourselves, not necessarily to have fun.
What? What's the difference?
The difference is that when you're having fun, it's for amusement. When you're enjoying yourself, you're having an experience.
When in your life have you ever turned on a video game and say, I'm not in this to have fun?
Whenever I played Brain Age, sometimes I feel like I have to turn on a game sometimes for social reasons. Point being, this kind of game, if indie games are supposed to be telling stories. It's the same thing when you read a book. Well, it can be.
Why, if it's an indie game, does it immediately have to have a strong story?
What I said is, when you play an indie game, more often than not, you're going to play it for the story.
That's not what you said.
All right, can I explain it, or are you going to keep interrupting me?
Well, that's not what you said.
Can I explain what I meant in that case? I'm trying to say that when you're going to say, oh, when was the last time I played a game to have fun? Well, games originally were designed for amusement, but the point is that indie games these days, especially when they're made not necessarily for, you're putting gameplay behind story. If you're going to be saying this game is about to have fun, you're not exactly. This game is about telling a story first and foremost.
Alright, are we talking about this game in general, or this game Night in the Woods?
Well, okay, both. Because indie games are not always supposed to be about, have you played Gone Home before or not?
I've seen it.
That's not exactly a game you're like, I'm gonna fire up Gone Home and enjoy walking around a house and picking up objects, right?
Right.
I mean, it's the whole thing about the 21st century, about media becoming more interactive, and I suppose trying to make games more like art if you're going to go down that path. But it's the same reason as saying, well, if I'm going to go watch a movie or pick up a book, I guess games are trying to get that same rank of we're respectful. You can play it and say, I get something out of it other than mindless button pressing and skill, I suppose. There are books and movies obviously designed for entertainment, but there are also books and movies that are more philosophical in nature. And I'm supposing that the games these days, including this one, many creators are trying to be much more, I guess, interacting with their audience to be like, we're going to make you think. Not necessarily to make you happy, but just to make you think. So there you go.
I think that's a very narrow-minded mindset on indie development. I feel like you haven't played a whole lot of indie games. You listed off like maybe 2 games, I think. There was Gone Home and Night in the Woods as examples of indie games moving towards interactive entertainment. But
now, hang on a second. I never said that there were games that I said games that sacrifice more gameplay for story. And I'm saying that even games that are supposed to be more, I guess, action-based, they still have a story to tell. Instead of just being like, hey, Space Invaders, shoot the things.
That's not true. Space Invaders shoot the things is still a very prominent genre in today's indie development world. I mean, Minecraft started as an indie game. You're gonna say the king of all indie games is story-based? Although it did have a story mode eventually, but that was years after.
But the whole point about that game is that you make your own story, isn't it? You make your own goal, you make your own plan.
I mean, I guess in the same sense that you do that with Lego.
Lego has a story.
But yeah, I'm just, like, you're pointing towards like these, I guess. Well, I don't know. It feels like you're cherry picking examples because you are looking at Gone Home, you're looking at Night in the Woods, you're trying to find some way to justify Minecraft.
I never compared Minecraft to that, dude. I'm saying that games today are trying to be more of an experience that's not just for mindless entertainment to do an activity for a repetitive task. It's more of it that the developers are trying to tell a story that's, I guess they could say it's deeper, It actually has some meaning, something to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. And you disagree.
Yeah, I'm saying that's wrong.
You're thinking that games can't do that.
That's not what I said. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, then what is it you want to say?
I'm saying that that's not the direction that's indie development is 100% chugging towards. You're saying that indie development is inherently going towards these interactive stories. They're trying to make people think. They're trying to get out a message or a word or something, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, is what a handful of developers do, but it's more often that indie developers, they just want to make a fun game.
That's true, but when you say fun game, I mean, are you going to argue that developers didn't think that this was a fun game when they were making it?
What, Night in the Woods?
For example.
Do you?
I think that they were having fun making this, yeah. Otherwise, they would have made it.
Okay. Them having fun making it is different from us having fun playing it, which is what you were initially arguing in the first place.
I'm enjoying it when I play it. Like, I actually enjoy playing it because I like to see how the life of these people changes as I talk with them.
Okay.
It's depressing as shit, but that's what it is.
Okay, are you having fun?
Well, yeah, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it. I'm enjoying it. I mean, when I say I'm having fun, I'm getting a fun out of the story.
Did you have fun playing Brain Age?
Not as much after a while, no. Because it became repetitive.
So then you stopped playing it?
Yeah.
But you had fun at first?
Yeah, until it became unbearable to play.
Okay, so then what's the difference between entertainment and enjoying it and having fun?
Okay, look, if you're gonna define the word fun as getting an amusement ha-ha out of it for now, that's one thing. I mean, we're going way off topic from the whole point of conversation that they're talking about here, which is something I wanted to ask you until we got into this awful tangent. I mean, I just kind of want to drop it, but I'm going to answer you. The whole point that I'm trying to make is that when you're trying to have fun, you're saying you don't play games to have fun. Or rather, you play games to have fun, and this game is not fun. If that's your take on it, then I'm saying, well, fun for you is what? Fun for you is finding amusement in it? Is fun for you supposed to be, like, shooting a dude in Overwatch or getting a hit in Smash Brothers? Or playing Mario Kart?
I don't know if I can define fun, but I can define what wasn't fun. Do you remember my initial reaction to playing Spec Ops: The Line?
Yeah?
I hated it.
You hated it?
I hated it.
The gameplay or the story?
Both. I hated it. I remember getting towards the end of the scene when your captain player, I can't remember, it's been so long, he first gets into the helicopter, and at that point I just wanted to shut the game off because to me, the point of a video game is to enjoy myself by having fun. And Spec Ops was not accomplishing that. And I don't think Night in the Woods, it's telling a great story and all, and I'm enjoying the story for the parts where I'm paying attention to it, admittedly. But I don't feel it's fun in the same way that other video games strive to be. And at that point, what's the difference between Night in the Woods and just like a visual novel? Anywho, what did you want to ask?
You were asking me about proximity. They just had a talk about proximity. Did you read it at all?
And on and off.
Okay, the point that they're talking about here is proximity is, do you think we would be friends if it weren't the situation that we're in? And do you think it's just that they're getting together because of proximity, because they're both in a shitty situation, and just because they happen to be close to each other in that shitty situation, they're like, hey, let's be friends? So I was going to ask you if you felt that way about friendships before. If you've never met friends with people, you're like, why am I friends with this person? And it's just because they were at the right place at the right time in some ways.
Well, speaking from experience, the only real example that I can think of was when I was a kid, and he was basically just a friend of a friend. I didn't really like him, but I was forced to hang out with him because we had someone in common. But as for what this scene is, where if you're friends due to proximity about your situation, you're just because you're in the same city or whatever. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, Tough times makes for fast friends, I suppose.
When I was playing this scene, I was actually thinking about you and me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
If we hadn't met on Game Winners, we wouldn't have come this far.
Pretty much. Or rather, kept up after the point.
Yeah, that's
Because we both like geeky shit. Let's carry on from that, you know? It's a touching conversation that just what played here because, at first B was like, I hate your guts. And then May's like, yo, we're stuck in this together. And then, from there...
Stuck together. Don't suck together.
And when they're stuck together, they don't suck together. And there's the girl, Bombshell.
So I guess May... I guess she... if she doesn't outright swing for the team, then she at least volunteers.
Well, she's the, the Kinsey scale. She's probably like a 3 out of 6 or 2 out of 6 or something,
The what scale?
Kinsey scale. You never heard of that, have you?
No, I have, actually.
Kinsey said everyone's a little bit gay.
Just a little.
Well, I mean, by a scale of gay.
By a scale of straight to gay.
Straight to gay, you fall between...
Straight to flamboyant.
There you go, Dad. Be the therapist. I mean, we already kind of spilled our life story to a random girl in the party. But can't trust dear old Dad because we're going to see him tomorrow.
I don't know. That's an interesting psychological, I guess, sort of take to it. Like, maybe May has an easier time opening up to strangers than she does to her parents. Probably because of that stranger. She knows on some level that she's probably not ever going to see her again. So it's just like, you know what, I can just say whatever the fuck I want, and this stranger's going to look at me funny, but at least they're not going to judge me any harsher than my parents are.
True. And as for us, for parents, when you divulge something really, really deep from inside you, it's kind of you're putting a lot of trust in them to not bring that up again or to not share it to someone else without your permission. And you're like, that's a lot of trust. It takes a lot of guts. And if that's broken, I think May's kind of person has experienced this before and she really doesn't want to experience it again. But at least she's opening up now. Where is it all going? Where am I going with my life? What even is my life right now?
A lot of us ask that question every day.
Oh yeah, that's one progress. You kind of talked to B out, kind of fixed up that gaping hole, bleeding.
We're friends because we gotta be.
Pretty much.
Which is a depressing way to summarize it, actually. It's not friends because you want to be.
No.
It's friends because you gotta be.
You gotta be, but no, you gotta be at first. But after a while, you kind of tolerate each other, and then after a while, it's like
that's not making it any better, though.
No, but it's tolerating each other in the sense of like after we tolerate each other, you kind of grudgingly accept each other to be like, yeah, they're kind of dicks, but or that they're kind of an asshole, but they're my asshole,
I mean, that's still not making it any better. You keep using these really negative words like
but that's the whole point. I mean, haven't you ever had awful friends and you're like, God, I hate this person, but I'm going to keep hanging out with them even though they're awful? You've got to have known someone like that.
Well, like I said, when I was a kid. But, I stopped hanging out with them. Probably mostly because he started doing a whole lot of drugs.
That's the bridge, that's the bridge too far right there.
Yeah.
Although it is a good place to stop. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not going down that path. Well, thanks, Dad, for listening out to us. Aww. Not even the option to go to sleep. It's just like, I want to be with you.
Hang out with Dad. That's a good dadly answer.
Sleep on the couch.
Watch some TV. Garbo and Malloy, the one thing that we really need. That came out sarcastically, but I kind of meant that.
You kind of meant in the sense of like, hey, we got to get some comedy in this heavy, heavy discussion.
Well, I mean, just something to ease the tension.
Well, the worst part is that Garbo and Malloy always kind of refer to something we did, or they foreshadow what's going on. Already they're talking about afterlives and God. Look, see? It's like, oh, geez, yeah, we're going to go lighthearted? Yeah, only with the yucks in the background.
I kind of appreciate how these are the only characters with voices, other than May, I suppose.
Does God exist is a big question.
Are you a churchgoer?
Ayo!
Well, then what was the church called?
The church was called the Church of I don't know what the fuck. The Church of It's a Rock.
So we all think there's a God, right? As to potlucks, as to whose God is best?
I think it's just to have food. To eat. Because, potlucks are pretty good.
What is the... Like, what's the... Fuck, I forget the word that means, like, the history of a word. But what...
The etymology?
Entomology.
Etymology, but you go on.
Entomology. I wonder what the entomology for the word potluck is.
It's literally from potlatch. It's, I think, a Pueblo thing, or a Native American thing, where they literally would bring all the rich people, like on the tribe, would bring up and give away their possessions, because it's like, let me show you how rich I am by giving away my wealth. And that's where it comes from. Potlatch.
Garbo and Malloy are going to contact the dead, so I wonder if May is going to get in touch with Casey.
You think Casey's dead?
Well, not necessarily dead. Or, he's quite possibly dead.
He's missing, so he's missing, so theoretically dead, maybe?
Yeah. Or maybe, like, she has a dream about speaking with Casey. I don't know.
The ghost got me! Save me, you're the only one who can. And maybe fuck no.
I mean, she does have God's blessing.
No, God's blessing is I don't care about you people. That's God for you.
She has God's blessing in the sense that God spoke with her. Fuck you want?
Sorry about breaking up your whole party thing. I mean, we already did apologize.
On the roofs and stuffs.
Bay was Batman. Or May, rather. May was Batman.
All that twerking. It's good cardio.
Hell yeah, we booked it over the rooftops to find our friend. That's like Assassin's Creed right there. May would be a good assassin. I mean, she probably botched the mission by going as violently as possible, but
in some cases in the first game, that was pretty much the only way to do it.
It's like, screw being sneaky. Let's just go in swords blazing.
I remember... Swords blazing. I remember the first time I played the first game. I don't remember who the assassin target was, but he was that doctor that was treating
the second one, the second guy in the church.
Yeah. Or in a hospital, an open hospital.
Yeah?
But I remember trying to do it sneaky, and I could not fucking do it, no matter what. So it's just after a couple failed attempts, I said, you know what, fuck it, and I'm just gonna pull out my swords, went straight at him. And it worked.
Just rush him.
Yeah.
I think the way I killed him after I was trying to be sneaky was literally waiting near a sick patient. And the moment he approached, I just got up off the bench and just stabbed him in the chest. Yeah, Greg, you didn't hang out with us. You would have loved the party. No, actually, probably wouldn't have. You probably would have been, siding with us the whole time, made it even worse.
I'd party again, probably with your mouth shut this time.
Get a big gauze strip and just wrap it around May and be like, she's cosplaying a mummy. Don't listen to her. See, now Greg says we need to do more parties. Me and my friends don't do as many parties as I wish we did.
I'm perfectly okay with the amount of parties that I go to.
Yeah, because you never have to host them.
I can't host them.
Is it bedtime? Actually, yes, it is bedtime. Take off them booties, May. Go meet God.
Will we dream?
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
Based on the amount of time left in this video, I'm gonna say no.
Well, that's just cheating. I would have thought that the little soundtrack would have given it away. Get your ass up, May. No dreams today for you.
What time is it?
It is $o'clock. The best time to go exploring around town.
I only asked because based on the sunlight coming in through the window, it looks pretty late in the day, and like she does sleep in until like 5. When's the latest you have slept in?
The latest I've slept in, well, not counting the times I was sick, probably around 3 or 4 p.m. I mean, I've had some days where I just woke up feeling like shit and I went back to sleep and I woke up late, like later than 5, because I was just wrecked. Thank God it was a weekend, though. Work and snack, Falcon.
Who's the third one? Is it Angus?
It is Angus, the planet lover.
Who's the fourth one then?
That's Casey.
Oh.
Come pick your fight, give arrows flight. You mess with me, you mess with all of us. Going to see the blank notes next week.
Blank tones.
The blank tones, yeah.
So this is going to be another question of who do we hang out with? B or Greg?
I imagine so. Or maybe it's going to be like a graveyard hangout, which has already been voted on. I don't know yet because I haven't played past this point.
Graveyard is Greg?
No, Graveyard's going to be first. B, Greg last.
Okay.
What are you thinking, May?
Geez, we are creepy when we stare directly at the camera. I think that's a joke at the pace of this LP.
Ha ha ha. No, I would have said it's a joke. It's a Trump joke. It's been 5 months and it feels like 10 fucking years. Hey, bird. Sup, bird? Bird is a word.
I don't really like bringing up Trump all that much in this LP, but how much longer do you think he's got?
Hopefully not long. Health and political wise. I mean, I'm thinking that by 2018...
Health-wise, you want him dead. That's kind of dark.
I want him out. I want him gone. I honestly do, but I want a reckoning. I want a fucking moral reckoning to come down to the right wing. I want fucking the skies to open up and be like, ye shall all be judged for what ye have done. Sleeping a lot but feeling worse. I've had that feeling.
Yep.
I'm gonna make an appointment with Dr. Hank.
Who's that?
The psychiatrist. The one that we already got. Remember that yellow thing, that thing that says, remember you've got options? The blue page on our notebook?
I don't.
It's the options menu. That's Dr. Hank.
Oh, how long ago was that?
A while back.
Okay.
Because, you know, I don't have to go to the options menu anymore when we're getting the LP in check.
Because, yeah, I guess this LP, I guess it has been years since we've started.
Months, honestly. May, hun, I'm worried about you. So is everybody else.
Thanks, Mom. And she thinks it's time for her to get a job.
That'd be a twist, wouldn't it? Like pulling a Ryo Hazuki all of a sudden. Go drive forklifts, May.
May is so sorry. Will that help with the bills, me being sorry?
Let's be honest, if step one is admitting you're at fault, and May has twice already said, you know, I'm a fuck up, I want to just die.
Just fall into a pit, and shrivel up and friggin' disappear, become worm food.
Okay, Mom, you know, it's nice that you're being a mom, but May could definitely kind of, I mean, I know you're being mom right now, but
she could, help out.
She could pitch in, yeah. It should be like, it's not your job to fix.
Even if she's not bringing in any bacon, she's not helping around the house with anything. She's not doing dishes. She's not sweeping or cleaning. She's not making herself useful around the house. She just wakes up, goes out, fucks around in town, and then comes back and sleeps. So, I'm not saying that Mom should be less motherly, but she does kind of need to put her foot down a little bit. She is acting like a bit of a pushover right now.
Well, you know, May's got depression. I mean, she's definitely got a depressive state, man. May's manic. May's depressive. May's got anger issues. She's got shit going on in her brain. I think the mom understands that.
Wouldn't activity help her with that, though?
Something constructive, yeah. What is it you have to do? I don't even know what stuff I have to do. But we're gonna have to go do it. Because she's wandering and lost.
Go talk to the pastor about God again.
Take it
That's
easy.
probably a bad idea.
She's probably gonna go apologize if nothing else. She'll be like, Pastor K, I'm sorry.
Also, check and make sure Bruce is okay.
Well, Bruce is probably gone by now. And we're gonna have to be like, oh yeah, by the way, Bruce said he's out. Bye. Actually, shit, I'm not looking forward to this next part then. I mean, imagine if the vote comes in and says, yeah, he can stay. I mean, I would just like give you a punch in your gut and be like, oh, fuck, Bruce, I'm so sorry. Take half a Xanax.
You're
tiny. You're fat. You're short.
a little bit gay? Half.
Take half a pill. Yeah, I don't think May should mess with any medication at this point. No matter how many good intentions her mom has.
I don't think drugs is what May needs at this moment.
Well, next time around, we're gonna go speak with the pastor and see if everything is okay with Bruce and what honestly May has to do. We'll catch you all next time. Cheers.